right, and we are on for the new Aston Martin AMR 2022 car unveil. So there's been a lot of trickery in between. You know, Red Bull had a bunch of bullshit PR stuff they were trying to get over with the scandal I felt yesterday. So I just figured we'll start the reaction from actually when they start talking more about the car. Although I love those Aston Martins in the background. Oh my gosh, Aston Martin makes some beautiful ass cars. They do. Damn, they make some beautiful cars. That guy should just cut that little piece of hair that's just hanging on right there. Just cut it off. That hallway looks legit.
Maybe you could tell us a little bit more about this AMR 22 and also the challenges that these rule changes have presented to you.
Yeah, massive challenge, as the VT just showed. It's a change of
that guy should learn how to tie a double Windsor. That single Windsor is weak as hell.
Ground effect car. So that,
and that's the way he's got his tie tied. That's weak as shit.
One of probably the most challenging that we've ever had. But new regulations, new challenges, but new opportunities.
Is there anything you can point to on the car that you think will make a difference between a point scorer and a potential race winner?
Oh, I wish I could.
She's got on like AKA codes with that pink and green contrast
of the AMR 22. We're on a steep learning curve. Everyone's going to be on a steep learning curve. No one's got all the answers.
That's a fact.
So I think we're going to see this car develop highly over the coming season. That will forge the way for 23 as well. So it's an exciting time to be in Formula One. It's also quite nerve-wracking.
Talking of exciting, can't talk about Formula One without talking about tyres.
He just looked really weird right
now. These are the new 18-inch wheels that we've got this year. What difference has that made to how you've approached the design of the car, and what difference do you think they'll make in general?
Yet another challenge. We're hoping that the tyres will allow the drivers to attack more during the race, promote better racing, which is what we always
Those
want.
windows are carbon fiber protruding out throughout that green is nice too. That's a nice contrast.
Aerodynamics before, so there's a lot of data to gather. No, I'm really hoping that they will allow the drivers to push harder and we'll get better racing, which is what we all want.
Exactly, yeah. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah, we all want some better racing, like not fuckery that happened last season, which we're going to have a video on that real soon because some evidence then came out that some of you for crash strapping lovers might not like.
Yeah, as Andrew was saying, we've been developing this car in a virtual world.
Digging the nose. He dug in his nose. Let's see if he puts it on his jacket.
Simulator. It's fantastic to see the car here in real life and to be starting very soon to be generating some real car data where we need to understand the car, understand how that correlates to all our development
tools. For some reason, he reminds me of a character off Chicken Run. If you've never seen the movie, check it out. Chicken Run.
The challenge ahead this year.
We get excited about rule changes. Do you guys get excited about them? I know it means long days, long nights, a lot of work, but do you get excited like we do?
For sure. I think from an engineering point of view,
how
there's nothing more
exciting
exciting than a huge regulation change. As Andrew was saying, it's quite scary at times too. But we've been having to go back to the drawing board, clean sheet of paper in so many areas, and it's been
looking like
fun working with a great team of people we have back at Silverstone, evolving to what you see now. And as Andrew was saying, that's only going to develop quickly during the season. So, this launch car will change quickly, but it's great to be stood here in front of it now.
That is the second time we've heard that this launch car is going to change quickly. Red Bull said the same thing the other day, and now Aston Martin is saying that same thing. So that just tells us that they already probably have another car that drastically looks different than this one.
Welcome to Jess, please. Jess.
He's like, oh yeah, that's you.
Now, Jess, you joined the team last season. How much of a thrill is it to be part of a
I like to see the
cool
increasing implementation of women being in the space. Like, that is lovely. Like, we have our first woman guest coming to Performance Talk, which is my podcast, probably next week, Wednesday. So if you want to check that out, we'll be live on Instagram.
And it was amazing. So yes, extremely happy to be back in 22 and to witness this new era of Formula One.
You've carved out quite a career for yourself, haven't you, as a stunt driver as well, including the latest James Bond film as well. You must be looking at some of these cars here thinking there's a lot of fun to be had.
She's got some credentials.
Yeah,
I love it.
Quite familiar and very
She's not
fun,
a real
actually.
blonde, though.
There's no car keys left around, unfortunately. But
I've looked for you. I did check.
Maybe we can find some. But yeah, no, very proud and thankful to be here.
Thanks very
That's
much,
awesome.
Jess. So with Jessica is the team's reserve driver, Nico Hulkenberg. And Nico, you've driven this AMR 22 in the simulator. How did you find it? What do you think?
Yeah, they're still very, very fast and fun to drive. Obviously, it's still a race car that wants to be, driven on its limit. It's quite different in a lot of the details, when you look into it, and that's obviously one of the first jobs of team and driver now to understand the car and to learn about it.
You've had plenty of experience in Formula One as well. What's it like as a reserve driver? You've been called up twice at the last minute, haven't you?
Yes, I have, but you have to say, life is generally much more chilled and stress-free, not being in the car hassling so much.
Nico's like, I ain't got to worry about the bullshit. I ain't got, no expectations, but to not wreck the motherfucker when they call me. So
great.
I'm good with that.
Thank you very much, Nico and Jess, for joining us today.
I heard that, Nico. He said, I'm good with that shit.
Well, no doubt we'll see them again throughout the season. If I could ask Seb and Lance to join us back on stage again, because we've got some questions from the audience. These are from some fans who were lucky enough to win
look at that purple up there. Looking crazy.
Lance, join me by the AMR 22. I've seen you having a chat over there as well, very much discussing.
Part of my contract, if I drive for Aston Martin, is I have to have an Aston Martin of my choice.
For you, Seb. Now, she wants to know what you're going to call this AMR 22, and I know in the past you've had various names for your cars. You've had Hungry Heidi, you've had Lena and Gina and Honey Rider last year. So what are you going to call this AMR 22?
Seb's so cool. He's one of my favorite drivers.
Usually we find a name just
look at him getting crazy with the hair,
getting together with the mechanics, and you need to have a feel first. So I think it depends how the car will be to drive, and but I'm sure we find. As
long as he doesn't call it Lazy Susan. If he calls it that, like the season's a wash.
Yeah, fitting to the its character. So don't know yet, but if I don't know.
Honest answer by Seb. Honest answer, like he didn't bullshit. Like I don't fucking know. I haven't really driven a car yet.
Yeah,
like I gotta get personal with it.
We'll definitely take them. Louise from Preston has our next question. She wants to ask, how will the new 18-inch tyres change the driver's approach to the race and strategies, and how big an impact
that's a question we've
will
all pondered. I've talked about it in several of my other videos.
First off, visibility. I think it's going to
that's the second time we've heard that. We heard that from Max Verstappen yesterday, or the other day, I think it was.
Going to be very different visually from inside the cockpit. So I think that will be a new component to get used to, and we just have to wait and see how the tires behave. What the degradation is like on these tires, how they operate, how that impacts strategy, and in different ways. So there will be a lot of learning at the first test.
Seb, your thoughts on the new 18-inch tires?
Yeah, we had a test during the last season, but obviously the car that we used was sort of in between last year and this year, so it's hard to know for sure. I think we need to see how the car responds first, and then obviously how we deal with the tires. Obviously the idea for this year, the main objective has been also in terms of designing the car to be able to race closer to each other. Mm-hmm. And for the tires, the same thing. We struggled in the past whenever we got close that the tires were starting to slide. The car was starting to slide, tires were getting too hot. So they should be better and more resilient to that.
Honestly, I think the decreased aspect ratio, making a lower profile tire, is probably going to lead to a little bit more sliding under certain power. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong. We also do have an increased diameter. So.
By the way, both of you, your eyes light up when you think about driving cars again. It's great. We've got time for one more question. That's from Sunny in Birmingham, who wants to know, if you two weren't F1 drivers, what would you have done? What other dreams did you have as a youngster? I imagine I've seen pictures of you on a motorbike, Lance, and it's phenomenal. I could picture you as a motorbike rider or racer even. But what did you have as a dream as a kid?
Well, I've been doing this since I'm a kid, so it's hard to think of what else I would be doing if it wasn't this. But
I've been doing this shit since I was in diapers, so can't think of anything else. Yeah.
How's your game? Do you
doing some other things. Oh, let's not talk about my game.
Oh, there goes Dad. Anyways. Dad out there. I wonder what it's like. I wonder what it's like in the environment. Child, so people know, like, yeah, your dad, you own the team.
There was a phase I remember I was running through the house and screaming, I want to be Michael Jackson. So think
Seb,
it stopped
clowning.
exactly there with the screaming because there was zero talent when it comes to singing. So
Seb is the fucking coolest, man. He is the coolest.
Racing and my father took me out on the track, so I didn't have to sing and could spare a lot of people the tough times.
Seb's the shit,
Don't stop singing on the radio, though. We love it when you're singing on the radio in the car. Listen, thank you very much, both of you. Great to see you here today with this AMR 22. That about wraps it up. I think you'll all agree that our first sight of the Aston Martin Aramco.
I love the color combination. The yellow, the green, the carbon fiber, the increased diameter on these tires and wheels. I do love it all. They did a good job with the production as far as, or more like the stage setup. They did a good job with the stage setup. I love seeing the other Aston Martins in the background. Of course, Red Bull couldn't have that unless they were just going to have an abundant amount of cans of Red Bull sitting the fuck around, which wasn't great. But I like the car. The car looks good. I want to see what they're evolved.
That the team is aiming for the top, and however
revision
hard
is going
and
to
long
look
the
like.
climb, they're going to get
I
there.
love those vents
on the team
in the body right there. That's a nice touch. I like that. I don't know if we really saw that on the Red Bull. We damn sure didn't see it on the Haas rendering.
Well, I think everyone is excited.
That's what I think about. I think it's good. You all get in the comment section and let me know what you thought about this car. Let me know which car you're looking forward to the most coming up. We've had Haas, Red Bull, now the AMR 22 by Aston Martin. I think McLaren is next, and I'll be back with you for that. So like I always say, just build it. That thing is fucking beautiful.